The following is a Spirit Street production. You've discovered your link to the Powercat Podcast, presented by Fridge Wholesale Liquor. It's the Powercat Podcast. And now, let's go to the Spirit Street Studios. Here's your host, Go Powercat publisher, Tim Fitzgerald.
Welcome to the Powercat Podcast, late night edition, because that's just the way our day's been. It's been rather hectic around the world headquarters. A little construction. Is that what we want to call it, Zach? Was that construction, Riley? Was it?
They were using power tools. It is
there we go. There was power tools involved. It's construction, all involving our new studio sponsor. And golly, I want to tell you, but we're not going to do it until we get all the signage in. And I don't have an official name of the studio yet from the bosses. Oh, it's so cool. No, they changed it today.
Huh? Even again?
Well, no, they changed it today, but the boss still hasn't signed off on it. But he wanted something different in the logo, so I changed that for him. And it looks better. It was a good change. Oh, so much going on. Got to order a 9-foot sign.
I like how you keep saying the boss, because nobody listening knows who it is, and so they think you're referring to yourself in the third person.
Oh, that's true. But it's not me. It's the boss of the company in which we have aligned ourselves with, and we are very happy at this point. We're humming around here, getting things done at a speed unknown previously to me. I think that makes sense.
Oh,
I think that.
Well, I had to think about it I didn't even know what you were saying until I thought about it.
Yeah, but we keep changing stuff. This is turning into just such a massive project. I'm glad you guys are leaving. I'm going to be laying carpeting while you're gone.
Don't worry, we'll have it figured out by kickoff. Hopefully.
I have it figured out by kickoff.
Kickoff of what? The spring season showcase?
Yes, we'll have the spring. We'll be ready by the spring showcase. Zach, we're going to have the. And
it's a joke.
Look, folks. There's one thing that could really mess us up, and I sincerely mean this.
Final Four.
K-State in the Final Four. It's going to be delayed because these guys are going to be out working. Well, if they make it to Louisville, all four of us will go. And if they make it to Minneapolis, all four of us will go. And if they make it to, what's after Minneapolis?
NBA Finals against the Warriors.
If they make it to the NBA Finals against the Warriors, I don't think we're going to be able to afford to do that because we're already going to San Jose and it's too expensive.
Going to Harlem to face the Globetrotters on their home court.
Yeah, I like it. So
they have a home court.
Nobody ever does that. The Globetrotters are always on the road.
Yeah, and we're sponsored by the Fridge. Okay, yep, they're awesome, but I want to put a little ad in here. Let's tuck an ad. Whoop. Yep, good sound effects. We have quality sound effects in this podcast. You're gonna love it. We have a special going right now. If you're not a subscriber, now's the time. It's 3 for 1. You get 3 months for the price of 1. Just get on board. It's like a great test drive of the product. You can see what we're about. You're going to get 3 months. It's going to take you into the summer. Spring football's here. College basketball's rolling. There's just so much news. We're cranking out, I don't know how many stories we're averaging a day. It's absolutely incredible, the amount of content mostly these guys are putting out. And we've got so much coming in the near future at gopowercat.com. 3 for 1. There's no code. Just click to sign up, and you're going to see right there under the monthly subscription. And just get it done, and, then go sign up on our YouTube channel and enter our bracket challenge, but we're going to pick the bracket in the third segment. K-State basketball into the postseason, and thank you, NCAA. You are a fine organization. Men and women both play at 1 p.m. on Friday. Not the same place. That'd be really awkward if they're on the same court. But the women will be in Louisville, ironically, playing Michigan, right? And the men will be out in San Jose playing Cal Irvine. Both tipping off at the exact same time.
I'm told the athletic department really wanted the women in Palo Alto. Do a little weekend there, yeah. But clearly that wasn't going to work with the same game time.
Please send us a bigger plane so we can just make one trip.
Yeah. So anyhow, these boys will be heading out on Wednesday to get to San Jose.
You know what's great about going 2 time zones to the west? We get to leave at a reasonable time and arrive at a reasonable time.
Coming back sucks.
We leave at 2:30. We're there at 6:30.
I know. You come back at 10 and you arrive in April. You just start flying.
10 p.m.?
Yeah, no, 10 a.m. I think. Don't you leave at 10 a.m.?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then it's like we get in like at 5:11, I think.
Yeah, it's really not bad. I got you good flights, man. I upgraded
like, what
you
are you
guys.
talking about?
I didn't make you guys.
Are we in first class?
I know. I meant time.
Oh, come on. We're not that rich.
I meant time.
Hey, he said upgrade.
I could have gotten a cheaper flight that left at a horrible time, and it would have been an 8-hour with connections, and it was just horrible. Or I paid more money and got you a better flight because, I'm just rolling in it.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have done that before I saw the hotel media rate.
Woof. Woof.
Hey, better than regular.
I can't wait till we go to our first In-N-Out and the burger's $17.
Ah, that's bad. 5 nights in a hotel, I'm going to be paying $1,500. Steal stuff. I steal a lot of stuff. Towels. Bring home a bed. Can you just bring home a bed for $300 a night? We should get. And now it turns out they don't even have room for the media at this hotel, and they're turning people down.
So you watch Friends too?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I watched it all when it was live.
That's what they do.
It was live?
Yeah, when it was live in
They
front of a
steal
studio
things.
audience.
It's like you can't steal the lamp because that's the property of the hotel, but you can take the light bulb and make your money back. You take the shampoos and the soaps.
You always do that.
You can take the batteries, but you can't take their TV remote.
That's cruel to the next guest. That's cruel. Okay. It's the Powercat Podcast. We got to get cooking here. It's awfully late for us. It's approaching my bedtime. But that's the way the day's been. We are sponsored by Fridge Wholesale Liquor. Get into the fridge. See Kevin and the gang. Get in there and buy the booze that makes you go, wee.
Oh, I thought you were going to rhyme.
Yeah, that is
Say ooze and just
buy the booze that makes you woo.
Yeah, no, wee. Yeah, I haven't been in a while. I need to stop by and see Kevin. They're just such nice people. I like to drop in and say, hey, Mike and all of them. Yeah, they're good people there at the fridge. And the second one's sponsored by Tanner's. You will find me on Thursday, since I'm not going to the NCAA Tournament. I will be doing some coverage from home, but K-State plays on Friday, so I'll be there at Tanner's, I think, on Thursday. I think. I don't know. I haven't ran that by the boss, the actual boss. That'd be Becky. But I think she'll be okay with that. I better check in with Daphne, too, the dog, because she might be needy that day. I don't know. But I will be there. If you are around, you should drop by through Tanner's, man. It's a great place to watch the NCAA Tournament because there's TVs everywhere. And God knows you're going to need it on Friday when K-State men and women are playing at the same time. I'm sure they'll have the women on somewhere. It's crazy.
Could imagine.
It's just stupid. Speaking of stupid, here we go. It's the Powercat Podcast.
Man, I feel like I got to give like a break so it doesn't make it sound like you're calling the first question stupid.
No, I'm not calling. Who is the first question?
Purple Powerhouse.
No,
not stupid.
It was Adam K63, yeah.
Okay.
Stupid. Here we go. Questions from Wabash Station. Here's Zach.
From Purple Powerhouse, what is your overall feeling on K-State's
just
4
wait
seed?
your turn. Quit stepping on me.
What?
You start reading before I'm ready. Okay, here we go with the questions from Wabash Station. Here's Zach.
Just go with it.
Let's go with it.
From Purple Powerhouse, what is your overall feeling on K-State as a 4 seed?
That's good. That's appropriate. I mean, honestly, look, they didn't play the schedule to get up to a 3 line with that record and taking a semifinal exit. They had to win the Big 12 tournament to get to the 3, and even then, I don't know if they would have gotten there.
I think the way the season played out, losing those early games, and the fact that they didn't have any significant non-conference victories, I think about 4 was probably the most realistic. You were going to have to be conference and postseason tournament champions to get to a 3. They just didn't have the credentials. I get it.
That's why anytime a coach says, that game doesn't matter, everybody was saying, that A&M game, it doesn't really matter that much because it's non-conference play, we're still in first place, this and that. Every game matters, man. Every single one does matter. Some more than others, but literally every game matters. If you don't lose to Tulsa, if you don't lose to Texas A&M, you're 27-6 at the worst, and you are in a lot better position to be a 3 than a 4. You're safely off the 5 line. I thought they might have fallen to a 5, losing.
I really did too.
So.
And I thought the Dean Wade thing might get factored in and get him to a 5. At the
probably
end, it
why
would have
they
mattered. I almost think Cal Irvine's a good team. They know how to win. Oregon's gotten hot here at the end. They must have almost been better on the 5 line, but I don't know. Oregon's finally got all their players, and that's who plays Wisconsin opposite K-State and Cal Irvine. This 4 seed is appropriate. the placement sucks, but it's just the way it was, and people don't quite understand the pod system, and I get it. It's a little convoluted, but they try to put teams close to home, but that's based on seeding. And so the 1, 2, and 3 seeds kind of trumped Kansas State, Kansas, any 4 seeds needs in this tournament because they had 2 pods out west, Salt Lake City and San Jose, and only 1 team in the top 4 seeds, Gonzaga, who needed to be in there. So they shipped other teams into these pods. They have to stop putting so many pods out west. And then we found out today that it was supposed to be Seattle, and now it's San Jose. That's what that email said about the hotel rooms.
Yeah. I didn't read that close.
Yeah. There was this pod was supposed to be in Seattle, and then it got moved.
I don't remember that, but Seattle's arena is being renovated right now.
And then it got moved to San Jose, and I'm like, well, why did you keep it out west? I don't understand it. You moved it to, I don't know.
At the same time, they act like it was sprung on them last week.
Yeah.
Come on now, you knew.
Yeah, well, but they're claiming they don't have hotel space for everyone coming, and I'm like, well, that's exactly why you don't have it there. Put it someplace put it in Vegas. Everything should be in Vegas, and that's just the way I am. Next question.
Wow. From Wildcat, how predictable was it that K-State would be shipped out? Also, same for KU ending up in the Midwest.
I mean, I'm just going to toot my own horn. I've been saying it for
it was obvious
weeks.
Shipped out.
You know, the only thing I missed on was that they didn't get the Midwest. I really thought they were going to get the Midwest, with that return. Hey, we'll ship you out. Yeah, you're the Big 12 champions. We'll ship you out west, or we'll ship you to Hartford, go win. We'll give you Kansas City. So that didn't happen. But, look, for this K-State team...
Well, it did happen. They just gave it to the wrong damn team. They gave it to the team that didn't deserve it.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for this team to get Tulsa, Des Moines, or to be in the Midwest, I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but they had to play a better non-con. They did. That's why KU got it eventually.
Yeah. They played Kentucky.
And
they
you
played
didn't have the quality
Michigan
wins.
State.
You played Georgia State. And then you played your conference. Well, they went 14-4 in the conference. Well, everybody plays everybody in the conference. Yeah. So, predictable, absolutely. Kind of had a little bit of a scare. We were going to Salt Lake, and after talking to KU Media, very happy that we're not flying out to Salt Lake.
Crazy.
$900 for a ticket.
Technically.
We are flying.
Okay, we're flying to Salt Lake, but we're going to go.
$900 to do a round-trip direct flight on Delta to Salt Lake. You guys are going to San Jose on Delta, changing planes in Salt Lake. So you are on the direct flight to Salt Lake City, but you continue on to San Jose for half the cost.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy, airlines. Get your stuff together, man.
From I Like Pickles Cat, why is San Jose part of the South region?
It's not. This is what people don't understand. These pods now are just locations for the first 2 rounds. And I can't even remember what the other region is that's in this pod. Who's in the other? Who's the opposite? Who's in the nighttime pod with? I can't even remember.
I don't even know.
We probably should have brackets in front of us, particularly since we're going to be doing that later on in the show.
We don't have a printer anymore.
Well, we do. It's just not hooked up. I could probably hook it up here between segments. Probably wouldn't take long. Was that me?
That was you.
Yeah.
Because your phone...
It's on a little... Never mind.
This isn't the first time you've had this issue, though.
But it's never been that loud.
It's called having an Android.
Mac people. I am one. I don't know what we're saying. Oh, the pods. So they want to keep teams as close to home as possible. And if you look at it, they did that as best they could. And first seeds get most important, second, then third. And if you look at that Tulsa pod, you have Houston and Texas Tech. They were the anchored teams into that pod, 2 different regions that moved into that pod. You look at the Des Moines pod, they put 2 Big Ten teams in there because that's a Big Ten state also. So Michigan and Michigan State are the 2 anchors of the different brackets in that pod. So it is strange that they're sending teams from higher seeds, 4 and 5 seeds from the Midwest to go play in San Jose to be part of the South region, which is Kentucky. But that again means that they got out of balance here. There's not any good basketball out west. Gonzaga and no one. The champion of the Pac-12 is a 9 seed. Okay? And Oregon, who won the Pac-12 tournament, is a 12 seed. and Arizona State, who's in a play-in game, which means they're worse than Oregon, but they're not because they're playing in as 11. That's how screwed up this tournament is. It makes sense. But see, Arizona State is an 11 because those are the last 4 at-large bids, and Oregon's an automatic qualifier as a 12.
Side note on that, can we stop putting the 16 seeds in Dayton and make them all of those bubble teams? A team like TCU has to play their way in.
They should make all of those games 16 seed games, then they can get hot and have a chance against the one.
The teams alongside K-State and San Jose are UC Irvine, Oregon, Wisconsin, Mississippi State, Virginia Tech, Liberty, and St. Louis.
Yeah, I don't think it should be limited to at large. I really don't. But I guess at large, see, this is the point. They try to say it's part of the tournament, but if you're a conference champion and not a 16 seed, you can't go to Dayton. So it's not part of it. I mean, you get lesser teams you consider conference champions that don't go to Dayton. Whole different topic. But the pods are the pods. You'll have a South and East bracket in there. You'll have a West and Midwest bracket in another one. And sometimes you'll get, 2 Souths in there. It's just the way it falls.
From CCL 27, does our possible matchup with Wisconsin give you nightmares or get you excited for a revenge opportunity?
Don't tell me the NCAA doesn't create storylines.
Jim Nantz has to talk about something.
Who is it? Who has that in San Jose?
Not Jim Nantz.
I didn't hear what you said.
Who's in San Jose, the announcers?
I have not looked, to be honest with you.
We should know this stuff before we hit the record button.
Well, I didn't know it was going to come up.
Well, I don't know what's coming up, and I'm prepared for it.
I was busy today because ESPN screwed up the women's bracket.
How about that? That's epic. What was the question again?
Revenge or...
look, I hate Wisconsin.
Yeah, nightmares or revenge?
Wisconsin basketball doesn't remind me of cheese. It reminds me of types of cheese I don't like. It's distasteful type of basketball to me. It stinks. It's putrid. It's horrible to watch. I hate Wisconsin basketball, and yet it is effective and has beaten K-State in the past. I am not happy about this. It's a horrible matchup for K-State. They're big, they're physical, and K-State is not without Dean Wade. I hate it. Go Oregon. Beat the Ducks out of them.
I mean, I get it. I agree with a lot of what you had to say there in terms of how ugly it can be at times, but I respect the hell out of Wisconsin basketball. And ever since Bo Ryan is no longer the coach, it's a little bit easier for me to not hate them as much because I hated him. He was kind of a you-know-what. I'll let you plug in whatever word you want to use there. But
a bad guy.
Let's be real. The Beasley year, Wisconsin was the better team, and it's not even close. They were miles ahead of K-State. Really, the Poland year, they were probably better than K-State, but it just sucked because it was Jake's year. Set the scoring record and still lost. So yeah. I just it's kind of the recent biased effect or whatever they call it. Recency effect, bias. What is it?
Recency bias.
Yeah. Good Lord, I was trying to put two words together.
Pieces.
Recency bias. They've lost to Wisconsin twice in the last 10 years. It's not like they play them every single year.
It just feels like it.
Yes.
They play them when it matters.
Will it feel good to beat Wisconsin and go to the Sweet 16 if that happens? Yes. Is it really a, quote, nightmare if it doesn't? No, because this is a very good basketball team. They're 5 seed. They're right there with K-State. That's how I feel.
Yes.
Okay. The announcers, by the way, are Sparrow Deeds?
I
don't know. Lynn Elmore, Steve Smith, Ross Gold on Wood.
That sounds awful.
Hey, we don't have to listen to them.
I don't know any of those people. I know Steve Smith, the receiver.
Lynn Elmore is extremely tall.
I know Steve Smith, the receiver.
Steve Smith played for Michigan State.
At least they're not on True TV.
From Catman 1A, I think that's new to the podcast. Welcome.
Yes.
Do you agree with the Big 12 only getting 6 teams into the tournament? And of those 6 teams, who do you see advancing the farthest?
I think TCU had a case. They had to beat K-State, obviously. But I think they had a case. I'm not willing to say they got screwed, though. I'm okay with them being in the NIT as a 1 seed. Texas didn't deserve it whatsoever, not even close.
They got screwed according to brackets, but...
According to Brian Davis from the Austin American Statesman, said that they were snubbed out of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, they were 16-16 or whatever their record was. Look, I don't care who you beat in the non-con. I don't care what quality wins you have. You beat KU and Austin, whatever. If you're a 500 basketball team or a hair over 500 and you took an early exit out of your conference tournament, do not even hold your breath on Selection Sunday. You didn't deserve to be there. You didn't do enough to be there. You got to get a lot closer to 20 wins. You got to be better in the conference. To think Texas deserved to be in is absurd. So I was very okay with 6 because I didn't think anybody really got royally screwed out of it. And then obviously, West Virginia and Oklahoma State weren't even going to sniff the NIT. So seemed like a rather fair year to me, I thought.
I really didn't think. I was questionable on Oklahoma, but they did so much work in the non-conference they got in. Texas, you just can't put in a 500 team. That's ridiculous. You can't put in a 500 team. I don't care how good they were. I don't care who they beat in the non-conference. You can't go 500 and get in the NCAA tournament. That hangs on your coach and or your network that you decided you had to play all these games because you can't attract a crowd and you've got your own network. Those aren't anyone's fault but your own. I'm sorry, Texas. You got to sometimes, Texas, you have to go by the same rules as the rest of college athletics. I know it's uncomfortable for you, but so be it. You didn't earn your way into the tournament. You couldn't buy your way in. Westford, you could have gone to the CBI. You could have bought your way into that. But congratulations, you're going to have an NIT home game, and nobody will be there because nobody stinking cares about Texas basketball. They never will until I don't know what.
Until they build a small arena and it makes it look like people care?
Yeah, that's exactly. They need to build a really cool small arena and pack it.
Which is what they're doing.
Which is awesome. But that place they play is a joke.
I like Texas Tech to go the farthest.
I thought TCU had a better argument, but the only reason they didn't make it is there was just enough upsets in the conference championship game.
See Jamie Dixon's quote. He's like, everybody thought we were in except for the people on the committee, and I'm like, the ones that matter.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I didn't think you were in. Once Oregon won and stole a spot, and you had St. Mary's winning and stealing spots. There was some other people. Look, I'm happy they put Belmont in.
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome. That's a really good team that got an at-large bid. Good. Awesome. Let them play.
The second half of that question, I like Texas Tech to go the furthest for what it's worth. Their bracket plays out the best.
Agreed.
And they're the best team.
And the top 2 seeds in the West are the lowest of the 1s and the 2s. And I think Tech's a very good team that is built to beat those teams.
From ContraCat KS96, will the tournament allow for a more aggressive defense or aggressive whistles?
No, they let you play. We saw it in the Big 12 Championship. They let you play. Typically, once in a while you get a, hey, look at me official, which shockingly, John Higgins and Doug Sermons did not do at the Big 12 Tournament, so they were probably under orders to let them play. It got a little ridiculous how much they let them play.
Game.
But, no, they typically let you play a little bit.
Unless somebody's, trying to make a point on a national stage. Oh, look at me! I'm following these tight rules that we've been told to follow, and I'm a very good referee, and I should be picked for the Final Four and this and that. But
I'll be interested to see if we end up with Wisconsin K-State. If they call a loose game and let them play, does that help K-State or Wisconsin?
K-State.
Well, Wisconsin's a really physical team typically. They start beating on you down low. And really that game will become about tempo for me. Who can handle the tempo and control it? If K-State can get up and down a little bit and run and grab and be disruptive, don't let Wisconsin settle into a half-court offense, they're going to win that game.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at, just K-State being having to be more scrappy, I guess, get after it. Scrappy. And, get a little bit of hand check fouls here and there. I don't know. It'll be interesting. But let's take care of the first round games before we start worrying about Wisconsin, because this is a 12 seed that could beat Wisconsin and a 13 seed that can beat K-State.
Yeah, Cal Irvine's good. K-State's going to have to go play its game. They're going to take Cal Irvine out of what they want to do. And just my thought on this is I really think it's entirely possible the Big West, that's our conference, right, is absolutely crap outside of them.
Oh, it absolutely.
And nobody's looking. They dominated their conference. Well, maybe their conference is awful.
They boat raced whoever they played in the conference title.
Maybe the rest of the conference stinks. Doesn't mean anything.
From Cornelio, I honestly like our chances of getting to the Sweet 16. Do you?
I mean, I like K-State's chances, but I like all 4 of those teams right there. Literally, Wisconsin, UC Irvine, Oregon. I could see and K-State, all 4 of those teams going to the Sweet 16.
Well, I'll say this. We can sit here and talk about who we think should go to the Sweet 16. Let's let this first round play. Yeah. I mean, seriously, last year we had some stuff take place. I didn't pick very many upsets in my bracket. By the way, get into the GoPowercat.com bracket. There's a link on the message board. Go do it. Get in. We're going to have a cool prize. I haven't announced what it is because I don't want just hangers-on getting in it. I want people at Go Powercat to do it. And if you're not, that's okay. You can join the Go Powercat bracket at CBS Sports. But I didn't pick many upsets. I was like, I don't feel it.
You never feel an upset.
Oh, I called...
Except Brad Underwood.
I called some upsets last year. Yeah, I got a couple right. And in our bracket, you'll get rewarded for upsets, and that I didn't pick them. I think reason I shied away from upsets is Seth Davis was so convinced that Cal Irvine and I can't remember who else were going to win.
Well, Seth Davis does that every year.
Virginia Sharpie.
That I absolutely said, well, then this is not going to happen.
Seth Davis literally predicts about 10 upsets every year, and I like Seth Davis. He's good at what he does, I think, in some aspects, not necessarily the bracket stuff on Selection Sunday, but it's like Bruce Weber recruiting. He casts a huge net, and he's eventually going to hit on some things, and it looks like he got it right from the start.
I think we're all just waiting for Charles Barkley's opinions.
I guarantee you Auburn's in the Final Four in his bracket.
He's spent a good 6 hours studying college basketball in preparation.
He takes Auburn to the Final Four when they're a freaking 11 seed.
Look, and I say all that, and I freaking love him. He just
he annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah. I don't know how you put up with me then.
Is it a shtick or is it real, do you think?
It's real. It's real.
From Purple Cheese, talking heads are making a huge deal of UC Irvine winning their last 16 games. Does that matter based on the competition?
That's what we just hit on there.
Come on, man.
Look, on one hand, 16 games in a row is impressive. I don't care who you play. You're going to get worn down. You're going to get tired. Someone's going to get hot. I mean, hell, K-State won 9 straight games. But then they just had a bad day. Iowa State had a good day.
I was 16.
I guess that was technically
conference.
Not 9, whatever.
Maybe their conference is awesome. I apologize to all you Big West basketball fans out there that know that. I don't even know what teams are in. Cal Fullerton is awesome. I don't know, man. I sense that they're. It's not a good conference. But this is a point that Seth Davis made, and I completely agree with it. If you know how to win, you win. It is contagious. You know how to close out games. You build a sense of confidence, a sense of belief, and you believe in your systems. You know how to win. And that's the scariest thing about them. They probably got a couple good guys. They do have a couple good players. But it's not like they even have like a guy that throws up 20 a game. They're leading scorers. They got 2 guys in double digits on the team. It's a very balanced team. And they have these great defensive numbers, and I'm curious to think, well, do they play really, really good defense, or does their conference stink?
Well, the second-place teams in the Big West, so Irvine went 15-1, won the thing by 5 games,
right?
Because Santa Barbara and Cal State Fullerton were 10-6.
Yeah.
Hawaii was 9-7. Long Beach was 8-8. And it goes down to 7-9, 4-12.
Read off the rest of the teams. Give us the Big West.
Okay, so there's UC Irvine, Cal Santa Barbara, Cal State Fullerton, Hawaii, Long Beach State, CSU Northridge, UC Davis, UC Riverside, and Cal Poly.
So it's all
Cal Poly blows, man. They're 6-23.
It's all Cal teams except for Hawaii.
Yeah, it's all UC. Blank and
everybody's from
Hawaii.
California except for Hawaii.
I wonder if they go on like 4-game road swings or something if you're Hawaii. How do you do that? I don't care. I don't care enough. The conference stinks. Next question.
From Powercat Ryan, by not getting Tulsa, Des Moines, or possibly Kansas City, does this team keep their road warrior mentality and actually play better?
I think that. Who was that from?
Powercat Ryan.
Ryan, that's a great point. I think in some ways this team is better off getting away from home and being the outsiders. They've been good on the road, except out of conference. But let's see what they do. That's what they did last year, Charlotte and Atlanta. Now they're going to get San Jose and Louisville. I agree. Maybe go to work. You're on a road trip, a business trip, go take care of it.
I like that mentality of it. And doesn't it kind of feel more like the NCAA tournament when you leave the state? It would have been great to play in Kansas City. The fans get to be there. The team knows Sprint Center. It's great for us because we save a lot of money. But at the same time, doesn't it feel more like the NCAA tournament when you're going to California, Kentucky, Atlanta? You're going out. You're doing something. It's a thing. It's an event. I like it.
And for us, it doesn't, other than expenses, doesn't matter where they are, because when you go cover the NCAA tournament, you spend your life in the bowels of an arena in some other town, and you don't see daylight or basketball games other than the one you're covering.
Until UMBC beats Virginia, and you just got to quit working and go watch it.
We were so busy, and you're like, we got to go out
I was like, we have to, Fitz.
Let's put this in context, folks. You're so kind of engrossed in what you're doing, because we really are cognizant of the fact that you folks are paying us to be there. You're literally this is why you pay your subscription, for us to go give coverage of events like this, that we can afford to do it. So we go to bust our ass. We want to give you as much content as possible. We want to milk that cow until it moos no more. And we're sitting there, we're really busy, and Riley's like, Virginia's about to lose to a 16 seed. I'm kind of peeking at the TV. We were probably 50 feet?
Oh, if not closer.
50 feet from the arena court. I mean, we just had to walk into a tunnel and peek out, and we could see the court. And I tripped over a nun in a wheelchair. I apologize to her. I don't know who it was. No.
Where's she going to be this March?
I don't know.
That's right.
It's going to be in the NIT. Well, sometimes even God settles.
Damn. Damn.
Well, I thought that's why they went to the Final Four. Maybe they were just a good basketball team.
Are you saying Sister Jean sold her soul?
I don't know. Well, something happened.
From Catman 1A, last question of the first half. With K-State and KU both being 4 seeds, which team's path would you rather have to advance to the Sweet 16?
Can we make this a 2-part question? First part, I'll answer the question. I'd rather have, in terms of competition, I'd rather have K-State. Auburn is a buzzsaw right now.
KU's not getting through Auburn or New Mexico State. It doesn't matter who wins that game. They're not getting through that. That is a horrible matchup. Northeastern's going to be pesky for them.
Yeah, they hit threes.
It's not a good match.
Well.
They did not get anything nice from the committee. Auburn, if Auburn plays halfway, Auburn's like a better Iowa State, so just keep that in mind.
KU got the shaft in the – well, okay. If you're a KU fan, you think you got the shaft in the first and second round. You got way overpaid for the Sweet 16 if you make it there. Look, I understand that the University of Kansas does very well in the history of basketball, and they're a great ticket. And holy crap, if North Carolina and Kansas, Roy Williams faces his former team in the Sweet 16, you don't think that's going to send money through the roof on TV, on ticket sales, at the bar and Power and Light? Holy crap, it's going to be great. I get all of that. Kansas didn't win the Big 12 regular season title. Kansas didn't win a share of the Big 12 regular season title. They didn't win the Big 12 tournament. They got waxed by Iowa State. And yet they still got rewarded at the end of the day.
It's absolute crap. They should have absolutely swapped KU and K-State. K-State won that on the court by winning the Big 12 title. I see why they sent Texas Tech out west, because they're about as west and good as you get right now in college basketball. With Gonzaga and who's the two? Michigan State's the two out there. No, that's not right.
Michigan State's 2.
Is it? Are they the 2 out there? Doesn't seem like that's right. We should have a bracket here. But I get it.
Michigan's the 2.
Yeah, I get why they got Texas Tech's in the West. That makes sense to me. I mean, if you're Tech, you're going to fly to Kansas City if you're a fan, or you're going to fly to Anaheim. Doesn't matter. But there's no doubt that they should have swapped K-State and KU. There's just no doubt. They screwed K-State because KU's their boy. Yeah. And you can make the argument that they were a higher 4, and that's why they did it. Nah, look, no, that none of that holds up with me, because there should be a reward for being Big 12 champion. Oh, there is. KU's gotten it every year, and then when they're not champion, they still get it. I'm not that worked up about it because Louisville isn't that far. It's not like outer Mongolia.
It's better than Atlanta.
Right. It's better than Atlanta. It's better than D.C. this year. It's better than Anaheim. I get it. It's fine. It's okay. Louisville's good. We're going to drive it when K-State makes it to the Sweet 16. How's that? Just when they make it.
Calling your shot.
But it's just unfortunate that they did this. Now, all that said, first, I'm not really confident Kansas will get out of the first 2 rounds. I'm not overly confident Kansas State will. But I would want nothing to do with North Carolina and Kentucky, and Houston's pretty damn good if that's who advances in that bracket. Now, personally, I think if Iowa State shows up and plays, they're going to end up there. And, hey, Kansas City, if somehow you end up with Kansas, Iowa State, Kentucky, and North Carolina, just start lifting the price of beer right now and start boosting the bed rate, the rack rates you have at hotels, because holy crap, I don't know what Kansas is going to do if they get those 4 programs. I don't know how physically they're going to host that event.
But, like,
Iowa State's obnoxious enough. Add in North Carolina, Kentucky.
Oh, my God. Do Iowa State fans have any money left after they drank all the alcohol in Kansas City last week?
They have a reserve fund, I think. I think they save a little bit extra.
But, like, I hate the argument. I was listening to a local sports show where I'm from, and he's a KU guy hosting the show, and he's talking about, stop complaining about KU getting the Kansas City. They got to make it there first. What if they don't make it there? Then it's all you're whining about nothing. I don't give a damn.
No.
Because if they do make it, if Kansas is in the Sweet 16, they become a very viable option to make the Final Four. I'm sorry, they do. If they get through this 2-game,
it's a home court and it's crap. They got it.
So look, I'll go to bat for KU in terms of being right there on the seed line with K-State because they played the best non-conference schedule in the entire country. I will fight for that, and I believe that. But at some point, winning the Big 12 Conference should come into play. K-State got the shaft, and I think it's a damn shame. And it clearly shows that KU's going to have to go 12-6.
Well, let's set aside K-State. Let's say the top 4 seeds in that Midwest advance. How do you feel if you're North Carolina? You're a 1, and you essentially have to play on someone else's home floor. What the hell, NCAA? Come on, man. Are you getting paid by Adidas, too? Maybe that's why you're not investigating. Man, it's just ridiculous. It's crap. That's it, isn't it? That's the first half of the podcast. Not grumpy as hell. I hope the second half makes me cheerful and delightful. That's the way I want to be. We're sponsored by The Fridge. That makes me happy. And we're sponsored by Tanner's. That makes me really happy. And we'll be right back on the Powercat Podcast.
The Powercat Podcast continues shortly.
I'm trying to get a group text in on what everybody wants on the liquor store run, but my phone keeps autocorrecting liquor store to the fridge.
A fridge or the fridge?
The fridge. It just did it again.
Well, the Fridge is more than just a liquor store. The Fridge has over 3,000 wines in stock, the area's largest selection of spirits and craft beers. Plus, they're back-to-back winners of Beverage Dynamics Retailer of the Year.
Oh, I get it. Wow. Smartphone.
Autocorrect your next liquor store visit to the Fridge Wholesale Liquor, 1150 Westport in Manhattan. Online at fridgeliquor.com.
For more than 20 years, there's only been one reliable source for exclusive and unmatched premium K-State sports news content. It's GoPowercat.com. The tradition continues as Tim Fitzgerald, D. Scott Fritchen, and the other Go PowerCat sports experts continue their relentless coverage of K-State sports. So make sure you're subscribing to the one and only Go PowerCat. Hey, K-State fans, it's time to come home to GoPowerCat.com. We now return to the Powercat Podcast.
Welcome back to the Powercat Podcast. We ended with a flurry in the first half, but now we're in the second half. And it might be a whole different mood. We might be just...
We're just going to talk about K-State.
Okay, that's good.
K-State.
I mean, the K-State puts me in a much better mood than KU. I know that's a shocking stance. I know.
Big if true.
I know. It is big. I'm Tim Fitzgerald. That's Riley Gates, Zach Carlson. I don't think I introduced us in the first half.
Holy crap. What if people don't know who we are?
What if people just tuned in like, who are these guys? They're brilliant.
They should read the description.
Oh, yeah, they should. This is the Powercat Podcast, sponsored by the Fridge Wholesale Liquor. We're the staff at GoPowercat.com, plus D. Scott Fritchen and Ryan Wallace and Mike Goins and Ross Uglum, and who am I forgetting?
Josh Kinder,
who hasn't done anything in a while.
Steve Adelson.
Still, Steve is the big shooter. Yeah.
Becky works here.
Becky's actually the boss. Yeah. I don't do anything without her permission. That's marriage. And this segment is sponsored by the High-Low. Now, I think I might have to go down and eat at the High-Low, like in between sessions on Thursday. I think Tanner's will hold my table, so I can run down and eat at another establishment. We're going to test it. Jeremy, is it okay if I run down to the High-Low and have a slice and then come back and then I'll eat some chicken lips?
You could put a little clear chip in front of your table to hold your spoon.
I like it. I like that a lot. Or I'll just hire the local drunk to sit at my table. I'm not the local drunk, okay?
How are you going to sit at your own table and also go to High-Low?
Okay, so I get hooked on Shameless, right?
Where's this going?
Go with me on this. Shameless is a Netflix show. It's actually a Showtime show, right? And it's the William H. Macy is an alcoholic, which in itself isn't funny, but the character's kind of amazing. And there's a regular at Tanner's I've started calling Hank, his character. He even sounds like him. So, anyhow, we are the Powercat Podcast. These are your questions from Wabash Station. And the High-Low presents Zach Carlson in all his glory with your questions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
From Purple My Nurple, I was looking at the season stats for UC Irvine, and it looks like they rotate 13 guys with their highest score, Max Hazard, at 12.5 points per game. What is it that scares you most about the Anteaters?
I mean, I hate to just pick it off what
By the way, I love that question. The whole question was a beautiful piece of writing.
It's the noses that scare you the most.
Kind of what he said right there, right? And what you said in the first half. Their top scorer is 12.5 points per game. You said they're a balanced team. So who the hell do you stop? Who the hell goes off? He's not going to be able to shut down everybody.
But see, that it scares me when you got a guy. It scares me. Casey had done pretty good shutting down guys, but you get someone that can get hot. I mean, I'm sure he's a fine player, but is his name really Max Hazard?
Per ESPN, that is.
I mean, come on. Are you sure that's not a character from the original Starsky and Hutch or something? Max Hazard. It's probably like a back in the old, what was it, National Wrestling Organization, NWA? Sounds like a wrestler from the NWA. Harley Race against Max Hazard.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It sounds like it.
I'm going to dive into him more this week as we go on. We got football tomorrow, so
how about that?
I got to get some stuff for that. Good Lord.
Look.
All this media opportunity.
Okay, so in the past, I was gone for the first spring football media opportunity. That bummed me out. I was at our wedding, the wedding we went to, and so that I was like, oh, I'm missing that. That actually kind of stung a little bit. And I've gone to a lot of spring football, regular football, any kind of press conference dealing with football. And you just go and you can do your thing. I'm scared. They're going to be bringing players and coaches. They might be throwing stuff at us to see if we're nimble enough to get out of the way while doing questions. I feel like they're really challenging us to step up our game. And guys, I don't know if I have it in me.
Breaking Fitz wants Bill Snyder back.
I'm scared. We're going to get so much information. I'm going to just I don't know what to do with this stuff.
So yeah, we're gonna focus on that tomorrow
You're
for a little bit.
You're not concerned for me at all.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
You'll figure it out.
That tips off at 11 or kicks off. I guess it'd be football.
You can't use a basketball term to describe football.
I can do whatever I want.
But Wednesday, Thursday, I'll dive into UC Irvine, have some more stuff on them, and we'll get into what the real threats are more than just scores, points.
Right.
Because I got news for you. There's two sides to a basketball floor.
Oh.
Somebody should have taught Iowa State that at some point.
Oh. But Irvine plays good defense. Because they have a dude named Max Hazard.
The Anteater.
That just ruins it.
I love it.
From Wildcat Steve 18, do you think Dean plays in the tournament? If so, which round do we get him back?
Final Four, maybe.
Define plays. Did he play against Kentucky last year?
I contend they don't win if he doesn't. He did just enough to help them win.
4 points.
But I still don't feel like he played.
8 minutes, man.
He stood there.
8 minutes.
He was a
Austin
decoy.
Trice would kill for that line.
4 points, 8 minutes.
I don't see him playing in this.
I do not see him playing. I am going purely off of my instinct here. Last year, they really left it open to some hope that he would play. I don't feel that same sense here.
And I know that being a K-State fan, if you're listening to this, you've grown up in a world of Bill Snyder where he hides injuries and he doesn't let you know what's really happening. And you could say, well, maybe Bruce just doesn't want to let other teams know. Bruce is usually pretty transparent about, we're getting some good feedback. We're feeling better about it, and he just has not had anything. It's just been, it'll be up to the doctors. We'll have to see how he feels, things like that.
We learned pretty clearly from the Cartier-Jada hand situation, Bruce is a lousy liar.
Yeah,
he can't hide this stuff. It doesn't sound good. It really does not sound good at all. Unfortunately, it's really sad. But I don't think we'll see. I'm confident we won't see him in San Jose. Well, I won't see him because I won't be there. He will not be on the floor in San Jose. And after that, I'm still pretty confident. I think it's the point now where he could, he could make his injury much more serious. And they're being very aware of the fact he's got a lot of basketball in his career to play.
Well, that's up for debate.
What?
A big man with 2 foot injuries on 2 different feet.
We'll see. But
three foot injuries.
But
on 2
that's
different feet.
that's realistic.
Someone in Lithuania will take a chance.
Yeah, that's realistic though. But I mean, you don't want to further that problem.
Right. I just have my doubts.
I don't.
He's not going to be playing in the NBA.
Well, he's not going to be drafted. I don't believe at this point, which is unbelievable to me. But that's not all his feet, and that's a whole different topic. There's some questions about his lack of spark at times. I have heard from scouts.
From Purple Cheese, would there be an advantage for this team if they just made a decision to not play Dean?
Yeah, there would be.
Well, no, hold on. Let's hold on. I think the team knows he's not playing. I think they know damn well he's not playing. But they're going to perpetuate this because preparing for Dean Wade just is one more thing on an opponent's checklist. It's a different team with Dean. So you make them go ahead and prepare for what if Dean plays. We got to run through this stuff too, and it eats up some time. I think the players know darn well they're on their own without Dean.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then they're probably already in that mindset. But I do think there is a lot of validity to the argument of, well, yeah, we don't have Dean. It sucks, but hey, we did it last year.
Yeah.
We're going to be okay.
I think mentally they're fine. I really do. It's just, will the matchups lend themselves to winning games? In the first 2 weeks of the tournament, first 2 games of the tournament last year were fantastic matchups for how they had to play. Kentucky was an awful matchup, and they still won that. Chicago Loyola Chicago was a great matchup, and they screwed that one up.
I don't think we're ever going to get an official word, though. Dean is not playing. Dean will play. I think Dean will suit up every game. And I don't know. He's been on crutches, man.
Yeah, I don't think he'll suit up.
He's been on crutches.
He'll be on the bench.
If he can get off of his crutches by game time, he'll be in his uniform, I predict.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will never be told if Elvis left the building.
That's because Fitz is a conspiracy theorist.
Yep, I am. Go ahead.
From Adam K63, in regards to the foot injuries, could it be the shoes itself that it could be the problem?
A lot of people wear Nikes.
No.
I don't believe it's shoe. Look, Zion didn't hurt his knee because of a Nike shoe. It's just Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, no matter who you side with, no matter what shoe you prefer, all of those companies are run by very smart people, very good. The best shoes out there. Can you call him an engineer, a shoe engineer?
Yeah.
Look, they're not going to construct a bad shoe that's just going to result in foot injuries, especially not in 2019. Those are Chuck Taylors.
I don't remember having these kind of foot injuries.
That's what I'm saying. If Chuck Taylors could do it.
Well, you weren't playing that hard.
Well, that is true. Ever heard of a thing called defense, Tim? No.
There's.
I have not. I'll rebound, but only if I get to shoot it immediately.
There's more of an argument to be made about the floor than there is about the shoe.
I agree.
From Purple My Nurple.
I'm sorry. I'm going to laugh every time I hear that.
Other than Wade's foot and Jada's hand, are there any other players nursing injuries?
Well, something's wrong with Snead. We're not sure.
He has
He was icing his
cojones
after the game. I don't know what that means.
It's the biggest bag of ice I've ever seen in my life.
I got big cojones.
Have
you seen him hit 3-pointers? They're probably big cojones. Stokes is lingering stuff.
Stokes did. We're going to be able to use a light on him.
Yeah, we're not allowed to illuminate Kamau Stokes.
How pissed are those California people going to be when Tom says that?
No lights.
Yeah, that was weird. And he was like, no lights. Cam has headaches. So we didn't use lights. But that's it, really.
As a migraine sufferer, I understand that, but if it's really sinuses, it's different.
X has been taking dumps in the middle of games, but
that was weird. Now, I missed it because our seats were opposite of the bench, and we had to read about it on our message boards. I don't know what's going on when you ice your balls, but you got to poop. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Somebody said
this is the weirdest thing we've ever talked about.
But I don't know what appendicitis is. Really.
Well, you wouldn't be able to play.
What do you mean you don't know what it is?
Like, I don't really know if that's something that would result
You would be in
that.
so much pain you couldn't play. That doesn't make sense. I don't know. I thought maybe he had stomach flu, but then why are you icing your testicles? I thought maybe he had an infection of sorts.
Acid and kidney stone.
You know what? I don't know.
Could it be?
I don't know what that has to do with anything else.
I was joking,
We're
but
just
could it be?
speculating here.
At this point,
dangerously.
At this
by the
point,
way.
we're just guessing.
I think it's clear. It's Ebola.
I think he's going to be fine by Friday.
I hope so. Man, if he's having testicular problems, I hope it hasn't lasted a week, man. That's a miserable existence.
But really,
trust me.
Only Dean is the injury to be concerned with. I will not hear any argument about Cardi's hand hurting. I won't. He played phenomenal in Kansas City. So I refuse to give any argument to the fact that he is battling a hand injury.
This team has had to play at a really high level, energy-wise, focus-wise. And I thought in Kansas City against Iowa State, we saw them run out of gas. Maybe it was physical, maybe it was mental. But they played well at the start of both halves and then kind of let off the gas. I think they were just really tired. Having a week off, I think, is good for them. They'll heal up, they'll rest up, and I think we'll see a good shot from them against Cal Irvine.
From ContraCat KS96, Bruce, seems that the four-guard lineup plays to our advantage with no Dean. What do you see as the positives and negatives of this?
Sorry, it gets back to the argument of you put your best 5 players on the floor, you put your best 11 players on the floor or on the field, whatever. You can't be going and looking at a lineup and trying to think, okay, well, how did they come out with their full lineup? They're big, so maybe we got to put Trice out there in the starting lineup. I think you can do that to an extent, but I think when you are the number 4 seed, when you're one of the top 15 teams in the country, you make someone beat you at what you do best.
Right. You go play your brand.
And that's what it is.
If they're bigger than you, okay, well, we're going to go do our thing now. As I wrote in Kansas City in my column, I love the way K-State defends without Dean. And that's not a slight against Dean. It's just the way they have to play at that point. They have to get into the open court. They're just not big enough or good enough to really set up in the half court and just do things. Dean adds that element. He can step inside the lane, step outside the 3, and break up a defense. Without him, they need to beat the opposing team down the court. They get a lot more aggressive on defense, and I think that's why it lends itself so well to the postseason. The earlier question about how the refs will call games, they called a little bit looser, and I think that helps K-State honestly kind of play that West Virginia run and grab and foul a bunch that the refs can't keep up with. I enjoy this brand of basketball more than the brand that they play sometimes during the regular season. I think these guys want to run. They want to play above the rim, and when they do, they're fun, and it feeds off of itself. They have to start it on the defensive end, though. They have to be hyper-aggressive and always, always knowing what their assignment is. If you miss an assignment, it breaks down, and then the offense stinks. It just all kind of topples at that point. I think if they play their brand, they're going to be okay.
Also from ContraCat KS96, it seems like Barry has not stepped up to the same level as early in the season. What is up with that?
He's dead.
Yeah, again, that's the tired thing. I think he and Cam and I think they're going to be fine. I think they'll be okay with a little rest here.
He got some Fortnite in this week. We found out.
That's good for him.
Bruce told him to go rest.
Does he have a blue dog in his backpack?
What?
Does he have a blue dog in his backpack?
No, we've switched off of that season, Fitz.
Stupid.
And it wasn't a blue dog. It was an ice dog. A very big difference.
Well, has Avery had a nice dog?
That doesn't even... What? I don't even get that.
A couple puppies that were iced.
God dang it.
Last question of the second half from Canelio. To me, Mac is the key to advancing out of San Jose. Without a productive presence in the paint, I see us getting bounced early. Would you agree?
Key is such a strong word.
Let's define key here. He has to rebound extremely well. He's got to close out possessions. There's no doubt. When they're undersized, him and X have to really do their more than their share. He's got to defend at a high level because particularly when you're going against Wisconsin, there's going to be some mismatches down there. And he can't turn the ball over. That's his big problem. He gets the ball in the post and says, hey, I'm going to bring the ball down where everyone else can touch it.
Or he doesn't get the ball in the post because it bounces off his fingers.
Yeah, he can't turn the ball over. For me, that's the biggest thing Mac's got to do for this team. It's be solid. You know, that great game he played against KU 1 year ago, he didn't turn the ball over. He caught everything. He turned. He was definitive when he had the ball. He gets, I don't think they're ball fakes. They're just like, nope, no, I don't want to do that. No, I got it. No, I'm not doing that. I think he's faking himself out at sometimes.
To say he's the key might be a little heavy. And at the end of the day, the key is Barry playing good defense and also getting points, and Cam not turning the ball over 7 times, things like that. I mean, the obvious ones.
Xavier hitting huge shots.
So I'm not willing to say that he's the key, but he's definitely a huge factor.
I think you're the key, Riley Gates.
Well, you know.
You were the constant. You were with the team all the way through to the Elite Eight.
All I'm saying is that every year that I have covered the men's basketball team as the beat writer, they have gone to the NCAA Tournament.
Okay, that's it for this half of the Powercat Podcast. That was science, by the way. That's
100% fact.
Science. 97% of scientists kind of agree with that.
I went to the first 4.
They were in Sacramento. They made the round of 16.
Hold on. Does Sacramento actually exist?
Technically, that was the second round that year.
Oh, that's so
it
stupid.
wasn't.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they went through a phase.
Just last year.
I don't know. They tried to call the first 4 the first round. Everyone's like, no, we're not going to follow your rules. Speaking of rules, we'll be back with no rules because it's the overtime. We're sponsored by The Fridge. That was sponsored by the High Low. And this break is sponsored by me. I get it. It's mine.
The gang will return with more of the Powercat Podcast.
I'm trying to get a group text in on what everybody wants on the liquor store run, but my phone keeps autocorrecting liquor store to the fridge.
A fridge or the fridge?
The fridge. It just did it again.
Well, the Fridge is more than just a liquor store. The Fridge has over 3,000 wines in stock, the area's largest selection of spirits and craft beers. Plus, they're back-to-back winners of Beverage Dynamics Retailer of the Year.
Oh, I get it. Wow, smartphone.
Autocorrect your next liquor store visit to the Fridge Wholesale Liquor, 1150 Westport in Manhattan. Online at fridgeliquor.com.
For more than 20 years, there's only been one reliable source for exclusive and unmatched premium K-State sports news content. It's GoPowercat.com. The tradition continues as Tim Fitzgerald, D. Scott Fritchen, and the other Go PowerCat sports experts continue their relentless coverage of K-State sports. So make sure you're subscribing to the one and only Go PowerCat. Hey, K-State fans, it's time to come home to GoPowerCat.com. Back to Fitz on the Powercat Podcast, sponsored by Fridge Wholesale Liquor.
Welcome back to the Powercat Podcast. The first two halves are in the bucket, so to speak. This is the time of year when we do something very special, something that helps the little kids out there, something that makes your heart warm and makes everyone feel better about humanity. It's time we fill out the podcast bracket. We spared no expense on the music this year. Maybe we did. So we're actually gone in and we've created now a profile. What'd you name it?
GPC staff.
We thought about it for a long time. They rejected all my ideas and came up with GPC staff, which we don't know if it stands for Go PowerCat or Go PowerCat.com. We are unclear if the C means cat or com. We actually do not know.
You created the company.
I created the company, but people just started calling it GPC, and I'm not sure if they were calling it GPC for cat or com.
Well, I'm going to say this. If you call it C for Go Power Cat, then you can't make fun of KU fans for doing RCJH because Jayhawk is one word. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, whatever. I don't like talking about KU. So we've actually gone into the GoPowerCat.com. Pick 'em here on CBS Sports. Don't mess around with those other companies. Just get into CBS Sports. And if you're not part of our Pick 'em, we're going to have a great prize package. I will include a pair of socks, I think. But there will be, basically, we've got a bunch of stuff laying around the office. And then I'm going to have a main prize and then stuff like stuff.
A koozie.
I don't even think we have koozies.
I don't
think they're that good. Maybe a pen.
We have pens.
Well, we only have pens we've used because we gave all those away.
We could give you a...
You certainly will receive Expect to Win from D. Scott Fritchen, a signed copy. That will be, of the prize pack, that'll be number 2 behind the grand prize. And look, as I explained in the rules of our Pick'em contest, we're playing Bob Huggins rules.
Yeah, I was about to say.
You're only playing for first, folks. I mean, you don't settle for second. If you get second, congratulations, loser.
Now, your signed book might say, thank you, Janice, or thank you, Mark.
Yeah, it may not be the one. You just might get one that we signed wrong. I don't know. But we're going to have a really cool prize and then other stuff like promotional stuff that we haven't given away through the years. There might be an AM/FM headset. I'm not sure if I think we might throw those away.
Walkman?
Yeah, the little tiny Walkman things we gave away for a while at
one of Fritchen's 1997 Phil Steele college football magazines.
I don't know. We'll
figure it out.
Let's
get to the bracket.
We will have.
But anyhow, this bracket, as we fill it out here, will appear in the contest. And this is how the rules. There's 3 of us. Whatever team gets the most votes advances. So if someone wants to vote against Duke, someone else has to go with them. And I know someone here isn't going to vote against Duke. So Zach and I are going to have to get together.
Probably everybody in this office shouldn't go against the number 1 overall seed Duke Blue Devils, but yeah.
Come on, fighting Ross Uglums.
Oh, my goodness.
The fighting Ross Uglums have to make it out of Canada 2.0 first.
Dayton. Okay, here we go. We starting with the East?
Yeah, let's start in the East. Let's do the South last.
Okay, here we go.
Let's start
Take
with the
over.
East. We got the number 1 overall seed, Duke Blue Devils, versus the winner of, is it North Carolina Central?
We're sponsored by the Fridge.
Doesn't matter.
NCC
Duke.
and North Dakota State. Duke.
Fridge.
The Fridge.
Fridge.
We got the 8 seed VCU and the 9 seed UCF. I'm going with UCF here because I don't think VCU played that great of a schedule and didn't beat that great of teams.
I'll go VCU.
In my bracket, I picked VCU, so I'm going to pick Central Florida here.
Okay. UCF is not just a football school.
Well, they got that 7'9" guy.
Yeah.
Or is he like 8'3"?
I'll look at it. Number 5, Mississippi State versus number 12, Liberty.
Mississippi State.
I'm going Mississippi State.
Yes.
That is a very good Mississippi State team.
Death.
Number 4, Virginia Tech versus number 13, the Fighting Travis Fords of St. Louis.
Virginia Tech.
I would like to pick against Virginia Tech, but due to my need to not like Travis Ford, I won't pick St. Louis.
If there's ever a coach you can't trust, it's Travis Ford and Scott Drew.
There we go.
So Virginia Tech moves on. Maryland versus the winner of Belmont and Temple. I'm going with Belmont to win that first game and this game.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
A clean sweep.
Belmont or Temple. I don't
Also,
care
Mark-
if Temple wins.
Mark Turgeon might be fighting for his job, and
know.
I don't think they're in a good place up there in
Bad time to be
Annapolis.
bad, Mark. A job's about to come open you want.
LSU and Yale.
No.
LSU.
I'm going to go with Yale because I think having Will Wade not on the sideline is going to kill LSU.
What do you think they're going to have an algebra contest? They're playing basketball. I'm going with LSU.
All right, fine. I'm just telling you, I picked Yale in my bracket.
Yeah, good for you.
Louisville, the 7 seed, and Minnesota, the 10 seed. This is a gross game.
Hold on.
It's two
is
teams.
Is this really Little Patino
Yes.
against Louisville?
While Big Patino is suing Louisville.
This is beautiful. This is a
Again,
beautiful
don't
thing.
tell me that the NCAA doesn't create storylines.
I
I'm going to go Minnesota.
don't care either
Minnesota.
way.
I'm just
I'm
guessing.
doing it. I just don't want Louisville to win.
Number 2, Michigan State. Number 15, Bradley.
Oh, screw Bradley.
I hope it's Michigan State, and I hope it's by 90. Bradley can, yeah.
If you haven't followed that story, go look that one up.
All right, we're moving on to the second round in the East region. Duke and UCF.
Duke.
Thank you, Fitz. Mississippi State and Virginia Tech. That'll be a great game. I'm going to go with Mississippi State, though.
I don't
Virginia Tech.
Oh, Lord. I'm the swing vote. Mississippi State.
All right. Here we go. The Cowbells. Moving on. Belmont/Temple. So we said Belmont versus LSU. I got Belmont.
But what if it's Temple?
If it's Temple, I'm screwed. Okay.
I say we hedge and go LSU.
I'm going LSU.
All right. Well, now I'm sad. Minnesota and Michigan State.
Michigan State.
Yeah.
Yep.
Duke.
Going up to.
Duke.
You're killing it. Duke and Mississippi State. We're going Duke, LSU, and Michigan State.
Michigan State.
Michigan State.
Boy, we were bold and daring in that bracket. We got
This
the
is-
1 and 2 seeds.
This is a very chalk bracket.
Yeah,
Duke and Michigan State for the final trip to the Final Four.
Duke.
Michigan State.
Duke.
Good job. Duke.
All right, we're moving on down to the West.
Wouldn't that be out to the West?
Well, it's down
Down
on the sheet.
bracket.
Let's see, but
Well, I like to imagine that everybody's listening and has a bracket in front of them so they can see our picks. Compared
We
to
don't even
theirs.
have a bracket in front of us.
Yes,
You
we
have
do.
a bracket in front of you.
It's in front of the
Because we don't have a printer right now because the boss sucks.
Yeah.
All right. In the West, we have the 1 seed Gonzaga.
Did you get a pop-up?
Yeah, I clicked. Well, no, I clicked on this so I could see the other team because, frankly, I don't know who FDU is. Is it Fairleigh Dickinson?
Probably.
Yeah.
All right, Gonzaga.
Yep.
We're just going to go on Gonzaga. Syracuse and Baylor, the matchup of the zones.
Oh, it's another storyline right here.
Literally, Baylor, or Scott Drew said that on the teleconference today. He's like, well, we both play zone.
Thank you, Scott.
I'm going Baylor. I think Syracuse is rough.
Syracuse.
Baylor.
Oh, sick 'em Bears. Marquette and Murray State.
Murray
This
State.
game, take the over and pound it.
Oh, Marquette.
I'm going Murray State.
Oh, you both
Yeah.
pick Murray State?
Job,
Upset.
what's his butt?
I don't know.
Last name, I blanked on
That's
his
a
last
good
name.
analysis right there.
Seriously though, if you're betting on that game, if you're in Vegas, take the over. It's gonna be 95 to 80 or something like that. I don't know.
Well, what if the over is 175?
Screw you. Florida State and Vermont. Vermont was a trendy upset pick.
I love their syrup.
Catamounts.
I'm going with Florida State.
Florida State.
Sorry, Vermont. Buffalo, the 6th seed versus Arizona State or St. John's. I'm going with Buffalo.
This is really intriguing to me. That Buffalo's
a 6,
seed.
man. That's crazy.
I'm going to go Buffalo. I think they're legit.
All right, Zach, your opinion does not matter.
Didn't matter there.
Texas Tech and Northern Kentucky.
Tech.
Hold on.
You're out. Mathematically, you're out.
Tech.
Nevada, the 7 seed, and Florida, the 10 seed.
Nevada.
That's a... I hate to just, steal what people say on radio and TV and stuff, but they're right. That is a very underseeded Nevada team. They're better than a 7. Michigan and Montana.
Michigan.
Yep, Michigan. Going back up to Gonzaga and Baylor at the top.
Michigan.
Gonzaga.
What?
I'm sorry. Whole game behind.
Now we might actually have a tie.
Gonzaga.
Yeah, Gonzaga. Murray State and Florida State.
Florida State.
Murray State.
I'm in. Murray State.
He was a little hesitant to take him over Marquette, but over Florida State, hell yeah. All right, Buffalo and Texas Tech.
Tech.
Guns up. Nevada and Michigan.
Nevada.
I am going with Nevada as well.
Wow, I would have picked Michigan. Fun. We got a couple upsets in this bracket.
I took Nevada. Gonzaga and Murray State.
Gonzaga.
The magic runs out here.
Wow. Okay, sorry, racers.
No, they made it to the Sweet 16.
But I feel like Gonzaga has to lose one of those games.
Don't worry, Mark Few will piss it down his leg at some point.
Well, that could be that. I'll pick Murray State, but you guys already outvoted me.
Your opinion doesn't matter.
I know. Believe me, I know. I'm married.
Tech and Nevada. I'm going
Best
Tech.
game so far.
It is.
Tech.
I'm going Tech.
Tech. Because
Who would you have gone with if your vote mattered?
Probably Nevada.
Interesting.
Here we go.
Tech, though.
Gonzaga and Texas Tech?
Tech.
Yep.
That's what I got. I think they're Final Four team.
I do too.
And only
this is
because
the region to do
because the region they're in. I think Gonzaga's vulnerable, and
Michigan's not a very good.
no.
They're a good team. They're
well,
not.
they were the lowest of the second seeds. I don't understand why you put the lowest one with the lowest 2. You should have put the highest 2 out there.
All right, let's slide over to the Midwest, where Kansas State should be playing, but they're not.
They're not.
Number 1, North Carolina and Iona.
North Carolina.
Iona. Just wanted to do
Utah State and Washington.
it. Utah State.
I'm going with Washington.
It's the freaking Pac-12.
Who'd you take?
I took Washington.
Utah State.
Yeah, you dick. Auburn and New Mexico State.
Auburn.
Did
I
you
like New
see
Mexico
what
State,
they
though.
did to Tennessee?
I watched Auburn in awe.
Holy crap, that was insane. Kansas and Northeastern.
KU.
Anybody want to roll the dice?
Yeah, KU. Let's give them a game.
Iowa State and Ohio State.
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
They're not done just yet. Don't worry. They've got
They'll
one
lay
more.
down eventually.
Yeah, they've got one more piss poor performance in them. Houston and Georgia State. Kansas State's best non-con win.
Houston.
Oh, come on. Georgia State.
Houston by a mile. Wofford and Seton Hall. One of the it's going to be a fine game. Those are two pretty good teams, but on paper.
Tuesday night ESPNU.
Yeah, exactly.
9 p.m. tip.
Wofford.
Yeah, Wofford. Kentucky and Abilene Christian.
Kentucky.
Yep.
Hold on.
Did you see what Coach Cal did on the selection show? He was sitting in his living room and he had jerseys of all of his former players that are in the NBA. John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, 5 of them right behind him. And he's like, oh, what are these? Oh, yeah, I coached NBA players. And it was the weirdest flex of all time. Going back up, North Carolina.
He's weird.
Yeah, he's a really weird dude. North Carolina and Utah State.
North Carolina.
Yep.
Carolina. Roy's got something this year.
Auburn.
Auburn and Kansas.
Auburn.
Oh, yeah.
Auburn.
Yeah, I'm going with Auburn. Sorry, Jayhawks. Not sorry, though. Iowa State and Houston. This is where Iowa State lays down.
Houston.
Iowa State.
Ooh, sorry. You lost. Wofford and Kentucky.
Kentucky.
I hate to say that. Kentucky's good. They're real good.
But I think they're vulnerable. I think they're really talented like last year, but they're Kentucky.
This one seems to have it figured out more, though. Last year's was a 5 seed.
Maybe.
Come on now.
Okay.
North Carolina, Auburn. I'm going with Carolina.
Auburn.
Auburn.
Wow. I don't think Bruce Pearl's that good of a coach.
I think he can't help it.
I think
with
the
this team.
NCAA tournament is the NCAA tournament.
That's fair. UMBC. I hate that argument because, like, now we can't say a 16 will never beat a 1. Like, that was always the default.
I can't wait for the next bracket.
Houston and Kentucky.
Kentucky.
And to go to the Final Four, Auburn and Kentucky. I'm going Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Fine. No fun.
Let's get up to the South. That sounds weird. Get up to the South. Virginia and Gardner-Webb. Oh, Virginia. You don't have a great track record.
Gardner-Webb, they ain't played nobody, Paul.
I'm going with Virginia.
Virginia.
I'm not.
If they do it again, I will never stop laughing.
On the record, I am picking Gardner-Webb for future reference.
I will put this on the record. If Virginia loses to this 16 seed as well, I will never pick Virginia in the first round of an NCAA tournament game ever again. I will go on.
They should probably stop playing basketball.
Ole Miss and Oklahoma. This is going to be an ugly game.
I really don't know much about Ole Miss.
They were very underrated. Well, not underrated. They were picked dead last in the SEC. Then they kicked in gear. They can put the ball in the hoop. Oklahoma is just kind of here, and I'm going to go with Ole Miss.
Andy Kennedy's a talking head now. OU.
I think OU will win one.
I don't agree with that one at all. What is happening here? This is what happens. There we go.
When you're side shooting it there?
Well, it got up to all of my brackets.
We picked OU.
Oh, oops. Clicked the wrong one. Wisconsin and Oregon.
Wisconsin.
Oregon.
Doesn't matter.
I know. That's why I picked him.
Bruce texted Dana to congratulate him and wished him good luck in the NCAA tournament. And then the bracket was revealed.
I take it back.
He's like, no. All right, Kansas State and UC Irvine.
Cats.
They're
gonna.
I don't think this is gonna be as good of a game as people think it's.
No, I don't either. I think K-State's defense will shock this.
I think people looked at UC Irvine and they were like, "Oh my God, they're 30-5. They won 16 straight. They'll be the upset."
Yeah, I agree.
Villanova and St. Mary's. Nova. That is a good Nova team.
You grimaced like you wanted to take St. Mary's.
Well, St. Mary's beat Gonzaga.
And?
That's my point.
That was their high point.
Purdue and Old Dominion. I want to pick Old Dominion because I have relatives that went to Old Dominion.
But Purdue's pretty darn good. They've
Gene Katie.
Purdue. Yeah, Purdue.
Sorry, Old Dominion. Cincinnati and Iowa in a game that I want nothing to watch with.
Cincinnati.
It's going to be a blowout. Iowa's bad, man.
Yeah, Cincinnati looked really good.
Tennessee and Colgate. I'm going with the Volunteers because the toothpaste does not win a first-round game.
It's ironic. I don't even know they sell toothpaste in Tennessee.
Oh, my God. All these Tennessee people are going to Google Colgate. They're like, who are we playing? And then they're going to get the toothpaste.
Well, that's weird.
Tennessee?
Yeah,
Tennessee.
Okay. Going back up, Virginia and Oklahoma.
Virginia has a bad track record in the NCAA tournament.
Virginia.
What keeps happening here?
Well, you keep wandering too close to the edge.
All right, but why can't I get... There we go. Virginia. Let's go back to that one after a bit. Cincinnati and Tennessee.
Okay.
Tennessee.
I will go with Tennessee as well.
Okay.
Nova and Purdue.
Villanova.
I am going with Villanova.
Okay.
Villanova and Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I am going to Villanova. Ooh, I think Villanova's going to the Final Four this year. Book it.
Well.
All right, here we go. The game that nobody wants to see played. Wisconsin and Kansas State.
K-State.
Look, I think Kansas State overall is a better team than Wisconsin. I think they have better athletes than Wisconsin. But I think a matchup with a team like Wisconsin with Ethan Happ, a 6'10" All-American that can score and rebound and block and dish out the ball, is a nightmare without Dean Wade. I don't think Dean Wade's going to play.
I think it. I kind of disagree with you because if Xavier Sneed's covering him, he's going to be a step ahead of him the whole time. I don't think he'll let him catch the ball.
I think you are giving Xavier Sneed a lot of credit there.
I think Xavier's
and I think he's a terrific defender, but I think you're giving him so much credit. I'm going with the Badgers.
Cats.
All right, Kansas State's in the Sweet 16 for the second straight year. What a time to be alive. Virginia and Kansas State, the matchup we all deserved to see last year.
K-State because it's actually going to be OU because Virginia has a bad track record in the NCAA tournament.
I hate him.
Think about Virginia and K-State. Final score 32-12.
Damn, some team definitely couldn't score the ball.
That will be K-State against Virginia's defense. Virginia would win this game.
Virginia will win this game if it happens. All right, sorry, Cats. One short. Virginia and Tennessee.
Tennessee.
I'm going with Virginia there after Tennessee got waxed by Auburn.
Virginia's not making it to the Final Four.
They did in our
I don't
bracket.
think Kansas State's going into the Sweet 16.
Hey, I'm just using logic here.
I'm just using the way that we vote.
Okay, we're moving
All
to
right,
the Final Four.
Final Four. Welcome to Minneapolis. Duke, Texas Tech, Virginia, and Kentucky. Let's start on the left side of the bracket. Duke and Texas Tech.
Duke.
Tech wins the rematch.
Oh, God, it is a rematch.
Oh, crap.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Duke.
I'm sorry, Duke's going to win.
I'm on board with Duke unless Zion goes down. Then they're worthless.
Which is weird.
Right?
They have so much talent without him.
You talk about a team that has, not figured out how to play without someone.
Look, I've covered a lot of college basketball. I've watched a lot of college basketball. I don't know if you know this, but I played college basketball at UCLA.
You played at the rec a time or two.
That's someone walking in my door.
Fitz got a text. Fitz got a text, and suddenly his phone vibrated 90 times.
No, that was my Ring doorbell going off.
Okay.
I'm sorry, folks. That was an aside. Zion Williamson is the best college basketball player I've ever seen.
And it's not even close.
Not even close. I mean, he's
absurd.
He is LeBron being required to play a year of college basketball.
Yep.
Different. Don't get me wrong. They're different types of players. He's like if Charles Barkley, and who else? It's like there was a weird love child came out because Zion's got more of an outside game than Barkley and can do more. Is more agile, but he's special, man. He's the most obvious number one pick in a long, long time. He's a franchise guy.
A lot of people out there don't like Duke, and that's understandable. Obviously, it's Duke. But this NCAA tournament deserves Zion Williamson playing the whole thing.
I hope he makes it. He's
It's
amazing.
a damn shame if he gets hurt again. So Duke in the national championship. And now Virginia and Kentucky to play Duke.
Kentucky.
In this matchup,
not
I would
making it this far.
Okay, but you... I can say
Kentucky.
that about so many teams. I'm going to go with Kentucky if this is it. Do I think Virginia's going to make it this far? No. But I also think you saying that
Duke, Kentucky,
Oklahoma's going to beat Virginia is absurd.
Duke, Kentucky would be an incredible final.
It's happened before is the sad part.
And Duke will win.
I'm going with Duke as well.
Do you want to make it a trifecta there? Do we pick the obvious
No,
team?
I'm going to say Kentucky. Just
The top seed in the
out of
tournament?
spite.
We just went.
Just for the record, so that someone can go back and review this podcast when Virginia loses.
I'm going to go on the record right now.
I swear 5 years ago we ended up picking like Marist as the national champion. I don't know what happened. We picked some whacked out one.
This is going to be the year that the most people pick the same national champion. Duke is going to be an overwhelming favorite in all the brackets, and Kentucky is going to be an overwhelming runner-up. It is insane.
And let me explain this. In the Go Powercat bracket, you are rewarded. Not only do you get 1 point in the first round, 2 points second round, 4 points third round, 8 points, 16, 32 in the championship. You also get the bonus of the team's seeding. So if you pick a 16 to win in the first round, and they do, you get 17 points. So if you get Duke in the national championship, you'll get 33 points because they were a 1 seed. If you pick Fairleigh Dickinson to win the national title, and they do, you'll get 48 points in the final. There you go. That's how it works. So remember to sign up the Go Powercat Bracket Challenge, CBS Sports. Get in there. Go do it. We're going to have, I'm joking around, we're going to have some cool prizes. And also, folks, if you haven't signed up for the YouTube channel, make Zach happy.
Please.
Zach doesn't have much happiness. He doesn't.
Fact.
He needs you to sign up on the YouTube channel. And remember, we're having a special. We should have promoted this more. 3 for 1. If you're not a subscriber, go subscribe. You get 3 months for the price of 1. Get off and get running. And come on. If you're not subscribing, it's just silly at this point. The amount of coverage we're cranking out is just completely unmatched. And K-State Sports, we talked about spring football. It's really exciting times. We're covering the Wildcats, and you should be getting the best coverage because the Go Powercat content matters. That's it for the Powercat Podcast. We appreciate you listening. We're all going to go to bed now.
Yeah, it's kind of late.
According to the timer on the podcast recording thing, it's 1:26 a.m. I don't think that is right, but it is late. That's it. Thanks for listening, and we will be back next week with a full podcast. These guys will be back from San Jose with a little post-game podcast after every K-State game. Thank you much for listening. Thank you to the Fridge.
Powercat Podcast. All rights reserved. GoPowercat.com and Spirit Street Publishing.